Hello inhabitants of the internet. So, about 2.5 weeks ago we started attending the Jingshan school. It's been really great so far and I've been really enjoying being at the Jingshan school and seeing a completely different school system. And it really is a different school system. It's really different from how the American school system is, and it's very different from the type of schooling that I'm used to back in Newton. But it's really cool to see, and it's really amazing to be a part of this school. It's a really cool experience so far being at the Jingshan school, and it's been great. Anyways, I thought this next video would be about what it's like at school, because we've been spending so much time at school for the past weeks. Since we started school, it takes up most of our time. Anyways, let's take a quick walkthrough through what an average day at Jingshan looks like. I wake up at 5:30 every morning, and I am out of the house by 6 o'clock every morning in order to get to school, because it takes about 45 minutes to an hour for me to get from my host family's house to the school. I get driven to the school every day except for Tuesday, because my host family isn't allowed to drive on Tuesdays due to the laws that Beijing has about certain cars not being able to drive on certain days within the center of Beijing. So on Tuesdays, I actually ride a bike that my host family gave me to the subway station, and I take the subway to school. Either way, I have to be out of the house by 6 o'clock every morning. Breakfast usually doesn't happen until I arrive at school, and it's generally something quick and easy, like a small pastry that my host family gave me, or some snacks, or sometimes I stop by the McDonald's by the Jingshan school and I grab a quick bite to eat there. Either way, breakfast is always something quick and easy. I am generally in the classroom around 7 o'clock. Most students start arriving around 7:10, 7:15. Between 7 o'clock to 7:20, students are basically in homeroom. During this period, most students like to chat or read or do homework. Basically, it's like homeroom anywhere else. It's just a nice relaxing period. People can do whatever they want to, and it's really just sit down and relax. Every Monday, we have a flag raising ceremony. All the classes gather in the gym. All the students are lined up in very neat, orderly, and very perfect rows and columns, and they're very strict in that organization. And like any flag raising ceremony, we raise the Chinese flag up in the gym. The school sings their school anthem, and it's basically what you would think it is. It's not that different from any other flag raising I've seen. But anyways, any other day except Monday, around 7:20 or 7:30, we have morning exercises. You may think that these morning exercises are the regular rhythmic routines that some of you may or may not know. But all it's been for the past couple weeks is running. We run laps around the school, and that's all these morning exercises have been so far. I'm actually kind of disappointed about, because I was looking forward to doing more rhythmic routines as morning exercises, but instead it's just been running. So the first class begins at 8 o'clock in the morning. Every class is 40 minutes, and there's a 10-minute break in between classes. During 10-minute break, it's basically just another smaller homeroom period. People like to chat, do homework, eat, get a drink. It's another homeroom period. There are 5 classes in the morning, and there are 3 or 4 classes in the afternoon. Lunch is at 12:05 and goes until 1:30, which means you have about an hour and a half for lunch, which is a pretty generous amount. Most students, after eating, like to do homework, chat. A lot of students like to play basketball or just play around outside and just enjoy themselves. We have such a long lunch period that we can basically do whatever we want after we eat, as long as it's nothing against the rules. The food at Jingshan isn't that bad. It's better than I was expecting. It's basically rice, vegetables, meat, soup. It's kind of a variation of the same thing every day. It's not great, but it's not terrible either, so I can manage. School normally ends around 3:55 or 4:45, depending on how many classes there are in the afternoon, and most kids go straight home after school. So that was a quick overview of what it's like for an average Jingshan student. However, as the American students there, we have some special adjustments made to our schedule to help accommodate us. So I'm gonna lay out what we go through on an average day. We have our own schedule given to us by the Jingshan school. So you can take a look at it here and you can see that every day our schedule is not completely filled. Basically, we are taking 6 classes. These 6 classes are just for the American students and it's just us who go to them, and we have special teachers that help teach it to us so that way it makes sense to us. The 6 classes that we are taking at Jingshan are fine art, our own Chinese class, martial arts, handicraft, which is basically painting, calligraphy, and our own English class. Now, our own English class is taught by the 2 Newton teachers that came with us. There's a very specific curriculum that the Newton Board Committee of Exchanges, they put together a very special curriculum for us. The whole curriculum is nicely packed in this lovely binder. This is our English curriculum right here. When we are not in any of those classes, we are shadowing our host sibling. The 7 of us here are divided between 3 classes based on where our host siblings' classes are. 4 students are in one class together. Another student and I are in a different class together. And unfortunately, one of us is completely alone in a different class. But we all manage in our shadowing classes. They are pretty boring, I have to say. We aren't required to do anything in the class related to the class. So basically we're just sitting there and watching and observing the class. However, there are other things we can do during this class because it would suck if we could only just sit and watch and observe the class. Some of the things I personally like to do during the class include reading, doing some homework, and drawing. Me and the other student in my class, we've also grown fond of doing hangman tournaments between us. As you can see, hangman has become a nice little outlet to help fight the boredom during our shadowing classes. A quick side note on homework. The only homework we are getting over here is homework that is related to our English curriculum or any other of our specific American-only classes. While we are in China, we aren't required to keep up in any of our Newton classes. The only class that some of us are keeping up in is math, depending on which level math we want to go into next year. Other than that, we are not required to keep up in any of our other Newton classes, which is pretty nice. So that's basically our school day at Jingshan. It's either we're in our special class or we're shadowing. There's really not much else we can do during the day. After school, a lot of us have grown really fond of going to the gym and doing some workouts. So Jingshan actually has some nice equipment for workouts. They have weight systems, they have ellipticals, they have weighted bikes, they have treadmills, they have a whole range of equipment, and we were allowed access to use it after school. We also have ping pong tables and basketball courts which we can use. Ping pong has actually become a favorite activity for us while we're over here. A lot of us like to play ping pong after school. There's also Wangfu Jing Street nearby, which is a nice restaurant shopping area. It's a nice place to just go walk around and hang out after school. When I'm ready to head home, I take the subway home, and I normally arrive home around 6 or 6:30, anywhere in that range of time. Anyways, this was a quick overview of what it's like going to school at Jingshan. There are a lot more smaller things that happen at Jingshan that can be covered in another video, but this video is a nice little overview of what the Jingshan school is like. If you have any questions about schooling, about China, about the exchange itself, anything you want to ask me, leave a comment in this video and hopefully I'll be able to answer your question in another video. But for now, I'll leave you with some video clips that I've been taking of the school and of just getting to the school and back. It's actually hard to take videos in school, mostly because the cell phone rules in school are very strict, so it's really hard to get video clips of it. But after school, I've managed to get a couple clips here and there. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video, and I will see you guys next time.